started in Lake Worth, and I live down in Florida. So I didn't really have much experience up here, didn't really know much about it, but in the past year, I had the incredible time learning about the city and being here and being involved and just learning about the culture. I love it, it's great. Melinda. Is that a little better? Yeah. So basically, I'm from Fort Lauderdale. I've been with Hudson for about a year now. And I was thrown into Lake Worth about a year ago. And I love it. I love it, right? You guys love the city. It's a great place. The culture here, the architecture, the history, it's all beautiful. And I love it. And that's probably the reason why we're here this evening, is we're here to talk about this building, this area. It's awesome. So I'm going to introduce Steve Michael, who's the principal of Hudson Holdings. He's going to give you a little introduction and kind of get the night going for you guys, all right? So I'm going to head straight over to Steve.
Thank you everybody for coming and participating. It's very important to us to really hear your input. And I want to stress, we're here to listen to the public and to listen to them, to get ideas and get some concepts. And really, we're here for this. I do want to make it important note. We have a moment of silence, so I want to stress that any city employees, any board members, any city commissioners, anybody that works for the city is here. You have to ask to leave. I don't know if there's anybody out there who was on any advisory boards in the city. Very important. No?
I'll clarify, Steve. If anybody's on the ITN committee, that's it. Or the city commission, or city staff. All right. That's all. If you're on another advisory committee, then what's that? Yeah, only the ITN committee members. All right? Just to clarify.
Why are we all here? We're all.
Can you make sure that the people here actually understand what Mr. City just explained? That it's not anyone that's to do with any board in the city, please? So they understand that. There are people outside this door that need to be in here and have every right to be.
Okay. Let me say it really clearly. Can everybody hear me without the microphone? Okay. When I checked everybody's license, when I asked everyone to sign that piece of paper, we were asking that you are not part of the ITN process. You are not a committee member. As far as that is concerned, you are not a commissioner. If there is anyone in this room that is that, please let us know. We are taking pictures, we know, and just asking. Everybody okay? We cool? Everybody ready for this? Okay. So now I'm going to let my boss talk, and everybody's going to be nice. We got this. Okay.
Okay. So why are we all here? We all love Lakewood. We all want it to be the best that it can be. We all want it to be a sustainable economy.
You have to use your mic.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions, please? I just want to. We're going to have questions and answers, so we get to as many people as possible. We'll come to you with the microphone. So we want to have a sustainable economy to help finance the city and all of the city projects. Beach Casino Complex was an unfulfilled promise. We're here, there's a beautiful building, a beautiful structure, but it wasn't complete. The pool and the pool building were removed from the original development plan. Then value engineering was performed to meet the budget shortfalls. This is why we were invited, along with anyone else, to offer a solution through the ITN process. 3 groups responded. We were one of the 3. It is no secret that we have a large vested interest in Lake Worth. Along with each of you in this room, our interest is as owners of the Gulfstream Hotel. We all love Lake Worth. We all want it to be all that we can make it, and we want to help support our $60 million investment building. During this one-year process that we have been in for the ITN, we have downsized our project from, originally we were about a 60,000 square foot concept or project or an addition. We're now, it came down to about 20,000 feet. That was primarily because of recalculations of FAR by city staff, which we were fine with, we always complied with. We're not here to present our project or proposal, but to learn more about what the community wants, what the community is looking for, because we want your input. In my business, I have to talk a lot. I talk quite a bit, but tonight I'm going to look forward to just listening. I want to listen to each one of you. Before I finish and let John and Kevin get to the discussion, which I will leave, I'd like to make one important point. Some of the most important and significant public assets in this country were driven by public-private partnerships. A couple examples is Central Park in New York, Yellowstone National Park, and Glacier National Park. These were all driven and continue to be driven by public-private partnerships. This is why when the City Commission, by unanimous vote, voted to approve the ITN, we were excited and immediately offered our solution and our proposal. Commissioner McBoy to Mayor Triola all voted for this ITN process, and we participated. This is great. I love the passion of this town, and I know we're going to find the right track. So what I would like to do, turn it over to John and Kevin. I will be available for questions during and after, but please, if you have any questions, if you could save them for the time when they ask for questions, we'll get through as many people's comments and questions as we can. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody hear me? Yeah. All right, wonderful. So at this point in the meeting, what we're going to do is we already went through, I think myself and John, we went through in the past week or so all the questions that you took the time to submit. And they were really easy questions. They got to the point. A lot of them were really, really good questions. And we have them all here, but we were able to get 10 things that were hit on a lot in those questions. So we have the top 10 problems and solutions, and we're going to go over that for the next probably about 45 minutes or so, led by Mr. Zerny.
All right, I'm going to do my best. You know I talk low, so I'm trying to keep it up here by my mouth. How are you all doing tonight? Everybody ready? All right, now, here's the format for tonight. Really, as what Steve said, this is about listening and getting input. Now, the presentation was made July 30th from the proposal for the restaurant over here to fill that space, plus up what Hudson Holdings was proposing at that night. And as Steve said, the invitation to negotiate deals with the city needing help with managing, maintaining, operating, redesigning, renovating, expanding, all those things. That was a request about a year ago. Now that's been a long time on waiting and waiting. So put the next one there. There was a number of possibilities that we went through in our presentation at the city. Many of you may have seen some of this, but most of you have not, because the fact that some of you were sitting even in the back behind the chambers room, and many of you were not there. How many of you were at the July 30th meeting? Wonderful. So then I don't need to ask who wasn't. So you can see that a lot of you may not have seen that, but there was 3 options there. 1, 2, or 3. Either just do the restaurant, or take over this space to help manage it, or both, or whatever else you can do to help with the shortfall in the budget and the functionality here that is having issues in here in the city. We're going to take questions and all that right now.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it.
Turn it down.
Thank you.
Good idea. Back, okay.
Okay.
Like I said,
No problem. I might leave
So there was a number of options, and then the third one had a lot of flexibility in it to say, what else could we do here? What was allowed to be accomplished under is one thing that is you cannot do. That's all over the place. You cannot sell the beach. That's impossible to do. It cannot happen. It will not happen. And this idea had nothing to do with that. You're in this ballroom here tonight because of a number of things. If you're here on a rainy day, you might notice that the water in the balconies out there, a lot of it slopes back towards the building, and water came in, and we had blowers and all kinds of things in this room. All right? These doors weren't up to par. Right? There's a number of things here that was going on. If you were in that room over here, which is vacant, part of the ITN, and you needed to go to the restrooms over here, and if the weather wasn't good, you're running out in the rain. If you're over here and you're going to have a wedding, and you want to have the bride and groom ready to come in, have a little pre-function area, there isn't any. The catering area is very small. There's a number of things here that were done. Why were they done? Well, let's have a little metaphor. If you had a budget for a 3,000 square foot building, a nice one done well, and then you told the contractor, I'm a contractor as well as an architect, you told him, you go, you know, I know the price, but build me for the same price a 4,000 square foot building. And the contractor says, what? Sure, I can do that. They all will say that. But what do you get? Are you going to get the same quality, the same situation as a 3,000 square foot building? That's what happened here. If you all recall, this ballroom was here originally. And we had some pictures of the floor all warped and everything before because it wasn't able to be maintained properly over the years. And that's why we needed a new structure. It's a great building, but there are many things that need to be fixed up about it so it makes more money. It helps sustain the beach, and that's really what the input for tonight's about. And so what we're looking at is a lot of flexibility was given in this request. What could you do? And so in the beginning, before I was, and I know that the ITN went out, a calculation was made of the maximum amount of space that you could have on the beach area casino zoning in here. And it was about 65,000 square feet in the beginning. Then it was recalculated. We have a letter from the city attorney that was sent out that says, well, really it's 50. So then Hudson Holdings adjusted what they did. And then when they went to talk to the committee, they said, no, we recalculated again, and it's really 35,000. Then when they came back and said the last time, well, maybe that might be a traffic problem. We may have some other issues that a lot of you may be aware of, okay, that we were. And the last one that was presented on July 30th, coming back full circle here, was around a 22,000 square foot proposal, which was quite modest. But still, we heard a lot of, oh, we never got input. That's what we're here tonight. So, if you back up, go ahead, not back, and go forward a little more. Right. The last thing that was there had some of these amenities in there, but this is more. We're still going to propose some of the things that I think will solve it. We're going to hear from you tonight. Now, Kevin also said that there was an accumulation of a lot of, we thank you so much, and look at how many people are here tonight. We had a lot of questions, a lot of ideas that were submitted. We're going to go through this process of questions or concerns first, and we consolidated many of those, and if it's not on this list, I apologize. We'll let you add more to it. And then we'll see if we can try to, by hands, prioritize them. And then what we'll try to do on the chart over, we'll flip, is try to get solutions, ideas. Now we want to have a really, as good of a calm and contributing meeting here tonight as possible. So we really want you to stay on point. Kevin's going to come around, and as I go through and say, okay, here's one of the issues, how would you deal with it? When you raise your hand, I'll come over here, hold the microphone for you, and if you stay on point, I'll give you one at the microphone. So that, because there's a lot of people here and a lot of questions, so we want to stay on point and get through as much as we can tonight. By the way, if we don't get to your question, and after we're done with putting down some ideas here, that we will absorb and take with us, we have all email addresses. You can email us again, the website there. We'll try to answer you as well. So if we don't get to you, don't worry. I guarantee you, we will respond to all your emails. All right? So without that, let's get started here a little bit. Okay, ideas, concerns. Okay. This, in no particular order, is a list of some of the concerns that we have repeatedly from, you see how many people are here. So they had the majority of the questions that we listed here. Take those Marco sips. 9. Well, would you mind? Should I go read them 1 through? Oh, no. Here we go. Because I probably couldn't see them back there either.
Is there any way to take that apple off?
The what?
The apple color?
I'll read it. Parking capacity. All right. A lot of people were concerned about how many people were here parking on certain times, and it does get crowded a lot. That was one that came up. Traffic jams that kind of go with it. Parking capacity is enough cars. Traffic jams happen down here. I've been here. You all have been here too. All right. And so we have on the upper lot in particular, you all really like to come on up and let's see if I can park up at the top. I do it, right? We all like to come up here. There's not that many spaces. So we're going to look for solutions to that or ask to talk about that. Deliveries and trash and all that. A lot of times I've been here and I've seen delivery trucks right out front. I've seen delivery trucks over here. An issue that came up. Accessibility over the dune. That's why people want to circle up here to park up here. They don't want to come up here. A lot of you did use the elevator, but you still have to get up to this level. That's an issue with the way the site exists. Why wasn't there something where it would be easier and convenient to get up here without having to walk up all the steps? Because everybody would like to park up on the upper lot. I remember there was 2 lanes of parking, or 2 areas of parking originally. Weatherized entries and walkways. That means when you came in, it looked a little threatening out here, but if you ever have had an event here, and you had a windstorm blowing in, coming in through the breezeway, you're not getting up those stairs or these. In fact, the rain just blows right in the stairway that you came up over here. So, why was that done? Well, that was that $3,000 to $4,000 budget again. There wasn't enough money in there to make a nice air-conditioned way to get around and go to the bathrooms and come up and stand outside before you walk in to say your I-do's or whatever other function's going to happen here. So that was something that came up from people who have been up here and had events. Then we get into kind of the pool as a big issue, in my opinion, from what I've seen. That was left out. That was left out of the original project here. How many of you know that this county gave the city $5 million to improve the whole beach site? Some of you, I'm very surprised. That's, okay, $5 million was given to the city to do the site. Not the building, but the site. And then $6 million was the budget for this building. And as I said, originally there was a ballroom here. There was John G's and other shops. Now we have Mulligan's and shops, a ballroom, but what else do we have up here in the building? 5,000 square feet over there, not in the original budget. So there was definitely not enough money to fix up and deal with the pool. That's kind of the hole in the donut. Even when I looked at the drawings, and I was on part of Kingley Horns only for the green design here, which there really isn't much of that left, but I was on there and I saw that this area was left out of their design, and in the design here, everything else was left out of theirs. So 5 for that, 6 for that, for this, and I do remember it was like 13 or so. So what happened? We have a pool that was left out, and we have issues. There's quite a few people over there that were using the pool this evening. If you came up that way and take a look, there's a swim team that comes over here and likes to use it. But we have problems. I believe it was, I got an email it was for Sunday, yesterday, that they had fire rescue. Somebody over here was doing lessons in the pool, and there was laps, and it was very chaotic because the pool was closed on Saturday. So we have like 29 hours of pool time here, which is very minimal. When it is open, there's a lot of congestion, and there's no separation between fitness classes. Those of you who come here for fitness classes, those of you serious swimmers, not like me, but you can tell. And then there are kids and all that come over here and have fun as well. So the pool, one big pool doesn't accommodate that. It's not that easy. Well, the pool hours is another problem. The other thing is, if you've been over at the pool, the building got left over here, right? It's about 4,000 square feet. When you're in the pool and you look towards the beach, what do you see? You see a big wall. What's on the wall? Paintings of the beach. Paintings of the beach are on that building. That is 150 yards from the beach. Okay? Left out of the project. So how do we integrate? People are like, I wish we could have a little more where you can go down there, maybe have something to eat, relax by the pool, those kind of things. Those were questions and concerns that came up. How big, how small, how compatible with what is being proposed with this building? It took, from what I understand, nearly 30 years just to get to this. All right? And now here we are with another situation. So being sensitive, how big? There was confusion. Why did it go from one to the other to the other? And I guess last year it was like, you're building a convention center. That's what I heard. But it was not, at the time, there was many iterations that you've seen, and if you've been paying attention all the time, it's been changing. Then I talked a little bit about the functional issues here with this building as well. So there are no bathrooms over on this side. If you had a kitchen or a restaurant, the way that it's planned is very challenging. Why isn't there anybody over here that have rented this? You saw some of another proposal, another interested party, give people their proposal. I believe it was $20 a square foot. That's no secret. They said out in public. Well, the camo in this project here was, after it was operational for about a year or so, we can actually get real numbers. It was close to $17 a square foot when a lot of people are paying 7 to 10. Their proposal was 20. What does that leave? I'm going on. Economics of the beach complex is what I was just talking a little bit about. That there's a shortfall here. And our parking, I know I heard in the budget, I listened to the last budget at the city, and they were talking about $2.25 an hour for parking. Right now it's $2 an hour. I don't know about keep on raising the parking and trying to generate more money is what you all would agree to or like. But that's economics of the project, of the beach area, because this is what's called an enterprise zone. An enterprise zone that was voted on, I would think about 5 years ago, to make the beach independent as an enterprise zone in the funds. It was set up so that it would have its own meters and electric, and everything would be under one part of accounting. So you had a handle on it. It has nothing to do with accounting, and we'll take questions later on. This is only with the city. The city pays the bills here. And this is its own enterprise zone in the city definition, not in the county definition. You're getting that confused. There are a number of enterprise zones in the city. Right? The utilities is one enterprise fund. An enterprise fund. Enterprise funds, excuse me. So, other concerns that we're going to add on here, right? And so, if you had an urge, all right, trying to remember when, remember something, let's talk my age here. If you have a Horseshack moment here, all right, if you have one of those moments you want to add to the concern, I want to add some more to this, right? And, where's Kevin?
We're going to stick them on the wall so we'll be able to see them. Okay.
So we have a microphone that'll go around. If you want to add some other issues here, other concerns that we didn't glean from questions that came to the emails, let us know. I think you want to go up there with another microphone? There's 2 microphones. I'll just write down.
All right. First hand up is over here. Can you please state your name, your address, and your question?
Thank you. My name is Dan Levy, 2 North L. Here's my question, my concern. Is accessibility of all of this to people that don't live, accessibility to all of this to people that don't live east. In other words, to folks that perhaps live on the other side of Dixie Highway, people that have kids, people that aren't here right now. These are all us. So how, if you guys are going to address any kind of shuttle, perhaps from high school to junior high, to get our other residents to enjoy this as much as we do.
Well, that's a wonderful concern. Thank you so much. So her concern, just to reiterate, is accessibility to basically Lake Worth, the whole of Lake Worth, not just East Lake Worth.
You're going to get it in one line here, but in reference to Hudson Holdings in particular, we have one project that was presented to us under that name that is yet to be started. I'd like to know if Hudson Holdings itself is holding off on this project, if the delay is coming from Hudson Holdings.
Concerns on the beach. We'll answer some.
Yes, this is a concern, because Hudson Holdings is making the presentation for the beach. I would like to know if Hudson Holdings is holding off on this, or if the city itself is asking Hudson Holdings to hold off on this project. If that's the case, then Hudson Holdings is ignoring the first level of public-private partnership. We are supposed to, as the public, be able to benefit from this project, from your expertise and from the efficiencies that you can provide us, but we have no reflection of anything based on any of your work from your websites. I don't see anything.
First of all, as the principal of Hudson Holdings, I can directly answer. Number one, no, we're not delaying the project. Actually, today we submitted our application to begin the project. We have gone through 2 architects. We're trying to, in the design process, we do a lot of historic redevelopment of buildings around the country. There's a process that we have to follow with the state SHPO.